Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Welcome back. New year, new year, new year. New year, same show. Back to work, back to work. Everyone get back to work. Fun's over, holidays are over. Time to get to work. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? Hope you enjoyed the holidays. Hope you are well rested. You've had some fun, some family time, taking some time off. This room's a mess because I've been working on stuff. How's everyone doing? The like button's broken. Everyone double check the like button. Make sure the like button's working. Is my audio louder than normal? What's going on with my audio? Why are you louder? No. Oh. Oh no! I've lost the little thingy. Oh no! Where did you go? Oh no! My production values! My production values! I lost the little foam thingy. I guess it does impact it. Well, that's gone. Let me just drop the gain here a bit so I'm not peaking as much. There we go. I lost the little foam thingy. Aw. Well, that's gone. Do I have a spare? I should have a spare. Do I have a spare? I do. Well, I don't have a spare. I could steal one from another mic. So when I go to do live stuff, I'm going to have to steal this back. 1 second. There we go. There we go. Okay, that should be a little bit better, I think. Okay, is it in the beard? No, it's not in the beard. Woo. Okay. So, today. If you don't know what we're doing today, we're doing a little tappy tap tap. However, not today. Because this is the Voron tap kit. I've got all the parts printed out. I also have this whiteboard. We're going to get to that in a minute. So, this is an LDO Motors tap kit. I've double checked. So for those that don't know, the tap uses an optical sensor for it to work. And there's a PCB for it. Some of the PCBs have an issue. They the smoke gets out and you can't put it back in. So, I've checked mine. Mine are good. Apparently, it's an issue with the board manufacturer because everyone used, like, I think it was JCL PCB. I'm not 100% sure. I just kind of skimmed through it. Basically, something was on backwards. Or not spec'd right. I don't know. I wouldn't blame any of the vendors because they didn't make the boards. They sourced the boards from somebody else. So, it is what it is, but it's not an issue for me because at least I tested them. I fed them 24 volts and they still work. So, we'll get to that, but this guy right here, no, dang it, this is what I get for not doing prep work. There we go. Okay, this is V2.026. Okay, this is my oldest in-use Voron. Technically, Tallboy is older because Tallboy was originally V1.100, and it's the first Voron I ever built. But this is V2 number 26. I gotta melt that to get that out. Normally I don't have to, but I have to today. And we are gonna put tap on it. Why? Because this is I test stuff on Voron, okay? And this is my oldest Voron. And it's been a while since I've done any testing, so we're gonna do it on this. However, we're in a little bit of a pickle. when it comes to putting tap on here. Okay, now, what's simple? I print the parts, I take the kit, I go blah, and I throw it on the machine. Tap requires a CW2 Clockwork 2 compatible extruder because of the way it mounts. It mounts from the front, not from the back. Okay, well, I got an LGX on it right now. Okay. Well, okay, I'm gonna have to swap the LGX. Okay, so I gotta install a CW2. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. We could do that. We could do that, right? However, also, you need a MGN 12 carriage. That's still dual MGN 9s, because if you don't know, this machine is literally, if you had built a V2 about 3 to 4 months before V2 was released with all the beta parts, this is what you get. This is 3 to 4 months before release V2. Original revision, not R2, not R1, not even original. This is pre-original. So, we have to upgrade the gantry. Well, which means we need new XY joints. Well, if I'm taking the belts off, I might as well put new belts on, because these belts are actually original from 2.1. So we'll put new belts on. Well, if I'm putting new belts on, I might as well swap out my AB motor mounts, because I'll show you later, my AB motor mounts have a different belt pathing than the stock AB belt. So at this point, to put tap on, we got to rebuild the whole gantry on this thing. I may have to do the upper Z idlers too. We don't know yet. We'll find out. So, on today's stream, we're going to be rebuilding the gantry, or getting as far as we can. We got to take it apart, rebuild it, put it back together. Okay? So, that's going to be today's thing, is get this ready, and then on Friday or Saturday, if I want to do a print and chill Friday or a build Friday, I don't know yet, we'll do that. We'll put the tap in. So, we're not doing a full rebuild. I still haven't put skirts on this thing. And the upper idlers are the, are they the Teslatron? No, they're not. They're like a beta version. Yeah, there's a lot of heritage in this machine. There's still V2.0 parts in this machine. Not many, but there's still parts from the original, when this was originally a V2.0 still in it. Okay. Tap is LGX compatible. Not this LGX. Plus, I actually haven't used Clockwork 2 yet, so we're going to Clockwork 2. Projects by Brian, $10. Cheers. Thanks for the Voron and Clipper videos. It's been a huge help with my build. Awesome to hear. I plan on just like, this machine I like to keep stock. The only reason I put tap or even an LGX in here is because I had to put the LGX on something to test, and I had less Vorons at the time. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, before we get to that, a few housekeeping things. One, first shout out to Polymaker. We give away a spool of filament every stream. This stream is no different. Link in the description. Also, if you want to check out Polymaker, buy some awesome printer chow. I got a video coming up featuring them, actually. Link in the description. Affiliate link doesn't cost you anything extra. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. Or if you just want to try winning a spool, enter below. Also, if you won on the New Year's Eve community giveaway stream, there is, most likely you've been contacted by now. I sent out emails to the vendors over the weekend, letting them know the prize pool, who, basically the names and the email addresses of who won what. Okay, so you hopefully should have been contacted by now. If you don't hear anything in a couple days and you for sure think you won, let me know on the Discord. I'll verify. But I have this whiteboard here. Okay, so we're gonna do some learning here. I'm also gonna blow my white balance out on this camera. Okay, so this is a permanent marker. This is how serious I am. Plus I couldn't find my dry erase marker. Let's do blue. So before we get to the actual content, the meat and potatoes of this stream, we're gonna do a little literacy, because we ran into some issues. So I want you, class, to read along. And by read along, since I can't hear you, type out in chat. So I want you to tell me what this says. Class, can you tell me what this says? Can you guys tell me what this says? Okay. Okay, Eric, you get a gold star, and my white balance is gone. Canada and US only. So in the context of a giveaway, when you see these words, that implies that this is for prizes that are being shipped to Canada or the United States of America only. Okay, now here's another one. Okay, this is very close. Don't get confused. This is very close. Some of the words are the same. Okay? So, what is this one? Okay. Okay. This one right here. No, not this one. I know some of these words are the same. Europe only. Exactly. Exactly. Some of you know. The amount of people who screwed this up on the giveaway astounded me. I expected one or two. It was more than one or two. I basically let the vendors decide. I don't know which vendors are going what option. I basically said, hey, if they want to pay the difference, let them know that if they want the price, they got to pay for shipping. If you want me to redraw it, let me know. I'm not saying who went with what, but I'm saying multiple people found this concept complicated. Okay? So, yeah. Other than that, this is the only hang up. The only issue we had with the draw. Everything worked pretty well. Gleam worked really good. I like Gleam. I need to cancel Gleam. As you notice, we're going back to using the Google Forms for these draws. As awesome as Gleam is, I ain't paying $50 a month for that shit. It works really good. So I'll pay it for it once a year when we do this, and that's it. I ain't paying $50 a month for it. So yeah. So for the Polymaker filament we're giving away, link in the description. It's a Google Doc. It's free. Yeah, it's a subscription service. It's a subscription service, and there's different tiers. And if you want to run multiple prizes at once and have like multiple entries and like whatnot, you basically, it's the pro version, which is $50 a month. And that's in Yankee Doodle dollars as well. So yeah, if it was $50 a year, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But $50 a month? No. Okay. 50 for that giveaway. Yes. For that one giveaway, the $50 was worth it, in my opinion. It worked out, okay? For making it as easy as it was. And now I know why companies use it for their giveaways. It's super easy. I have all the metrics. I have all the information. It's on a website. It's saved forever. It's good to go. But it ain't, for these giveaways that we do every stream, yeah, it ain't worth it. Okay. So, that is that. That is that. All the winners have been contacted. You guys have been educated in words. Oh, geez. I've been looking for my battery checker for like a couple days now. It's been buried in with the parts here. Okay, let me get a box just to get all these printed parts off the table. And we'll get to doing this giveaway. Or this giveaway. This build. This box works. What's in here? Do you need to be available for the Polymaker? No. You do not need to be available for the Polymaker. Unless I call it out, you don't have to be entered, or you don't have to be present to win. I don't like doing the you have to be present to win draws, because I know my streams are at weird hours for some people, and people can't watch, and I stream for 3 hours, usually. So I know not everyone can be present for the whole stream, so. Oh, David's here. Hi, David! You missed it. I gave everyone an education on what words mean, like Canada and US only. Okay. So we got to get this guy on the bench. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. I'm hoping we can get this done today. We'll see. Canada is a country in Europe. No, it is not. I blame Canada. Where they can't... No, weren't some of them European too? Put my Mando mask somewhere. Okay, put you over here. I really need to... I swear, I keep joking we're going to do this, but one day we are going to do a stream where we just clean this room up. Because I keep starting projects and running out of room. Which Polymaker is this? ASA! Okay, I was wondering where this spool went. Blame the US education. I can't though, because it was Europeans who did it. And Canadians. And Americans. From multiple different draws. Pretty much every draw that had a regional restriction, somebody screwed it up. Okay. So I got the filament out. That's that. That's that. Shut down the Raspberry Pi properly by pulling out the power cable. There we go. Okay. Oh, something's hot. What is hot? Oh, that's the Raspberry Pi. That's hot. Okay, so. Oh, this is where my Patrick went. I was wondering where Patrick went. Go up here. Every time I move one of these printers, I find stuff I've been missing for a while. So first things first, let's get all the panels off this. So first thing I'm going to learn you folks, when you panel up your Voron, do not put your panels, or don't put the foam on the panels or on the frame. Okay. This is something I did because when I built this guy, we didn't really know better, or I didn't know any better. So I put all the foam on the frame. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. It makes it annoying to take the panels off and do work because your frame's just going to collect all the dog fur. Space for Cocoa Press. I got space. These could shove over. I can move the bamboos out of the way. I mean, one of them's not even working right now. Oh, and for those wondering, because I have people ask what spool holder this is just the switch wire spool holder. And I literally use a random print that I can't remember what this is from to just jam in here just to even it out. So we're pretty much going to have to strip this right down. Not that size. Oh, this size. Sing? I'm not going to sing. Why do you want me to sing? So if you're wondering some of the old parts on here, these handles are from V2.0 era. And the reason the old frame, old design had these up top is when you take your front door off, which used to be one piece, which I still like the front one piece, you put it up here and it sits on the handles. There's a little cutout for it. So this is one of the old legacy things. So if you have a front single piece front panel, put these handles up top because it lets you sit on top. They got little cutouts. I may have to reprint these. One of them has a crack in it. And this is ESUN ABS Plus that was printed on a V2.0. So these prints have held up a while. And I pick up the printer with these. No music. Oh, music. There we go. I thought I had music on. Did I not turn the music on when I started? I guess not. Bamboo broke again? No, I just haven't put the new panels or the new controller board in. We might do that Friday. I think Friday is going to be a print and chill / fix the bamboo stream. Okay, and then I have the little old I think these are V2.1. Either V2.1 or 2.2. I think these are V2.1. Little locking tabs. I think the NX folks have a mod of this they're kind of proud of, but these are from V2.1 days. And I'm missing a bunch of these because they just keep breaking. Every time I take the panels off, I break one. And I just go, I'll just replace it. And then I don't. Reliable ABS printer. It prints ABS, yes. Reliable, hard to say. This will probably come up a lot. I'm going to be doing a video on bamboo in the near future, hopefully this month. I have plans for videos every week this month, as long as I can get them recorded. I'm going to be doing a video on the bamboo. Not so much a review, but okay, I've had one of these for 6 months now, not just 2 weeks, and I'm doing a video on it. I'm lumping the X1 and the P1P together because they're the same printer. And it's going to be talking about just kind of my thoughts on it. Not so much, oh, here's a bunch of prints on a rotating table. Now buy it type thing. This is original V2.0, by the way. But yeah, as for reliability, it's a first generation product from a new company. There's no one who can answer you what reliability is. My machine's currently broken. Anyone who thinks they can vouch for long-term reliability of the bamboo system yet cannot. Because they're too new. They're too new. The new vid from BBD about the most expensive filament dryer. I have not. I'm assuming that title's clickbait. This is the power for the LEDs, if you're wondering what this is. How did it break? So apparently I have a pre-release one, and there's an issue with the connectors for the tool head board. Something about like these this is the new one they sent me. I think this connector or something, one of these connectors is bad. So they sent me a whole new tool head board to swap in, which these are what the production ones have right now. So if you bought one recent, like after they became available, you don't have this issue. At least as far as I'm aware. But go on Twitter, other people have had issues. Like they're not perfect machines. They're a first gen product. My bed sensor keeps tripping out on me. I have a bed sensor that keeps reading false negatives or false positives. It keeps saying there's something touching the bed when it homes every time. And I just ignore it and it prints fine, but that happens. Oh, he says the most expensive filament dryer is a bamboo. I like the AMS. The AMS has issues because of limitations of the design. The bamboo prints fine. It's loud as shit, but it prints fine. But also, there are some people who like, oh, it's okay if they mess up. They're a brand new company. They're a brand new company to building 3D printers. Bamboo Lab, the founders, this ain't their first rodeo. So I hold them to a little bit higher standard than like, you know, is it Construct 3D? I think they're the ones that just came out with like they just had a successful Kickstarter. I will give them infinitely more leeway than Bamboo any day. So if you want to see how why I keep my printers closed while I print, this panel probably hasn't been cleaned for a while. Yes, this is a tinted panel, but this is what probably about a year plus of printing ABS. So see that oily, it's like a brownish residue? That's from the off-gassing of ABS when it's melted. This is why I print with my printer enclosed and sealed up with the foam. And you don't open the door until the printing's done. So all the oily residue, the actual bad stuff, settles on the inside. Instead of, you know, if you open your door while it's hot, it comes out and goes all throughout the room. I'm using 2.1, Optotap 2.1, and this doesn't have a PCB at the tool head. This just has all the wires at the tool head. So I'm hoping I could just unplug my probe and just plug the Optotap in and call it a day, because it's 24 volt signal ground. Just plug the Optotap in and call it a day, because it's 24 volt signal ground. So what am I using? I just used ISO there. Normally I use Simple Green, but I'm out of Simple Green right now. Don't use the Nevermore. I do not. I don't think I can use an Nevermore on here. My everything on this machine's non-standard. Like, if you notice, my extrusions go the wrong way. And I have holes underneath, and there's things. Where someone had a thermal runaway on their X1 and didn't turn off and he saw the spokes. Awesome. This is 250. This is 250. And it needs a cleaning. 1 second. 1 second. This is like years of like partially failed prints and like first layer gunk and audio cutout. Audio cutout? Sound is cutting out. Is it? Audio's fine. Okay. Don't they have issues? A few of the vendors got from where they got the PCB from. There might be some issues. Check the Voron Discord. The design itself is fine as far as I'm aware. It's just there was some manufacturing defects from one of the part suppliers. And it's not like the vendor selling the kits. It's who they got the PCBs from. Because, okay, audio's fine. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to wrap you around here. So, let's talk about a little bit of history. So as you can see, these extrusions go this way, okay? This is the original V2.0 spec, is the extrusions going this way. We switched them to this way on 2.1, just for easier mounting. Also, if we ever, for whatever reason, there was a dual extruder setup, which is good now that Tridex exists, although that's on a Trident, so it doesn't matter as much. But if there was ever a dual nozzle setup, like the Chimera that didn't suck, you would be able to hit both nozzles off the end switch, which you can't in this setup because the clicky is here. And speaking of clicky, this is the rice cooker switch, as I think Andre likes to call it. This is my end stop switch. This is an Omron probe. It goes click. very satisfyingly. This was the spec on the original V2.0, and I still use it because it works. So I don't know what revision these Z motor mounts are. I ain't gonna bother fiddling with it. Audio and video are out of sync. Not on my end. Hit refresh on your end. Okay. Okay, so I'm finally retiring this thing. I am finally retiring the clicky switch. I might mount it on my wall. Also, differences. Again, when this was built, it was originally a V2.0, there weren't the standards that we have now for how things go together. So this plate is actually an aluminum plate. This blue plate is aluminum. And I have components directly mounted to it. So this power supply, yes, there are actually spacers, so it's not actually like ground to ground. It's not actually conducting through the plate. But this power supply is mounted to the plate, and everything else is mounted off the extrusions. So there's no of the fancy DIN rails or anything like that. There's a lot of legacy to this setup. Stuff has kind of panel do here. Here's a panel do because this originally had a duet here. There's a lot of weird legacy to this setup. Wires way too long. Like there's. See this? Who wants to tell me what kind of wire this is? What wire this is? You want to talk? This is how you could prove, right? Forensically, how this machine is V2.0 spec originally. That right there is Cat 5. Because, you know, when you know, back in the day, you watched a video from Tom, I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name because I always screw it up, Tom Salamander, and he wired up his was it Betty? I don't know. Whatever that Prusa that he built out of wood. And he's like, Cat 5, use Cat 5, because everyone used Cat 5 back in the day. It was stranded, it was twisted, it was color-coded. It worked great until you shove it in a drag chain, then it fails horribly. But, yeah. So this is the bed thermistor, which I haven't messed with since forever, and it's still Cat 5. Shout out to Tom, he's a good guy. So, original Omron power supply. Yeah, this is all this is original, I think. Actually, I might have switched this out at some point. But yeah, this is Spider, OG Spider. Because this ran a duet until I put the Spider in here. And you can even see I still have pencil like marker on here where I wrote the numbers for the motors. So this is motor 4, like, and there's still like old holes from the old mounting locations. Yeah, there's a lot of legacy to this machine. So this is why I don't do a lot of stuff to this one, because I'm kind of scared to at times. So this will be the first like surgery that this, or big like work this has had in a while. I think at one point I redid the Z chain on stream. But yeah, I'll show you the motor mounts once we get this apart. So let's start taking this apart. Let's start taking this apart. So we got to take this all apart. Are you gonna try 48? No, I don't bother with 48 because I don't need to. I don't print fast enough where I could take advantage of 48, so there's really no point, in my opinion. And I can't argue about getting it quieter because I have bamboos in the room, and no matter what I do, they're going to be the loudest thing, so it's no point trying to make these quieter. Let's fit. Yeah. So I'm going to be keeping the shroud here. I'm going to be keeping this resin shroud for the stealth burner because I want to see how long it lasts and if it does end up failing at some point. So far, it's been okay. So on the downside to that, we're not going to be putting LEDs in here because two things. One, I don't want to run more wires. And two, I'm lazy. The resin is fine. I'll show you here in a second. Now, note, the front face of the stealth burner is the only thing that's resin, and there's no stress on it. There's like, it doesn't hold anything together. It holds fan. So. How many parts do you think could be reused? What do you mean reused? How do I like the LTT screwdriver? Like it. In my opinion, it's a very solid screwdriver. If you're looking for a ratcheting screwdriver for more techie things. It's not as robust, I believe, as some of like the more expensive ratcheting screwdrivers, or because the ratchet is so smooth, you can't really reef on it. But for like this kind of stuff, it's great. I need to keep a track of all these screws too, because I'm running kind of low on screws and I want to not lose these all. I know I have a bunch of little cups in here. That one. So again, I don't have a PCB on here. This is still all the wires running to the tool head. Nothing super fancy. The original 80-bitty cable shroud. Don't need this anymore. Florin gifted 10 community memberships. Cheers, Florin. Do I want to hang on to all these parts? Because these are all going to be garbage. You can all go in here. Go. OG MZBot stickers. Those you can't find anymore. Is the Kingroom KP3S good? Yes. Yes, it is. In my opinion, it is probably your best entry-level printer if you want to be cheap. Okay. So, resin stealth burner. So far, I haven't noticed any cracking or degradation to it. I'm hoping this will look really good with the purple parts because I'm putting purple parts in it. So it should be okay, I'm hoping. I'm going for that old Game Boy effect. So we got to keep this. Keep that. Everything else in the bin. Okay, stealth burner is... Oh, this doesn't have a Voron. Shoot, I printed the wrong one. This doesn't have a Revo in it. Or a Revo Voron. This is a... Okay, I got to reprint that then. Okay. I thought this had the... well, it's got a Revo, but I thought I had the Voron Revo. This has the micro? I think this is a micro. Yeah, it's a micro. So I got to reprint that. No biggie. I mean, I could just swap the two. I might just swap them. We'll see. That's strong. It's not strong. Don't use resin. Straight up, don't print any of your Voron parts out of resin. Resin is horrible. The thing is, it's the front face of it's a fan shroud. It's not near the heat, and it's not supporting any weight, so it's fine there. We have 555 people here. Oh my god! Hi everyone. Like the smash button if you haven't, or something. I don't know. What am I supposed to say as a YouTuber? Like the smash button. Okay. This is going to be fun when I get to that. So, you know how some people are like, oh, the PL08 probes are shunk and they're horrible and they don't work. This was printing this morning. I was printing with this machine this morning. It still gives me perfectly fine layer mesh and first layers and all that. The bed probe in here has been the bed probe in here since it was a 2.2. So we're talking 3+ years of service out of this bed probe. This $3 bed probe. It's just a little toasty. And that's a Photech NPN PL05N. And it's just a little toasty. Still works though. Okay, so one of the reasons you gotta go to the switch wire too is on this one, the extruder assembly attaches from the back and we got rid of that. It doesn't do that anymore. You know that probe won't fit the CW2 carriage. That's why I'm putting a tap carriage in it. Go. So we got ourselves a Bondtech here, an LGX. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I got one now. Cool. I'll add it to the drawer of extruders and motors. What else comes out of this? This comes this way. Never change your running system. Yeah, if it ain't broke, I am very much if it ain't broke, don't mess with it. It's why I still ran like this probe on here. I'm like, yeah, it looks a little toasty last I checked it. It didn't look this toasty, but it still worked. Why would I change it up if it still works? Why not LGX? LGX is good. Because I haven't done Clockwork 2 yet. I haven't put Clockwork 2 in anything yet. And since I'm putting a tap in here, I figure I might as well go with the whole shebang and put all the new stuff. Although, actually, shoot. Am I okay here? Because don't they have like a fancy swooping front face on the... I don't know. I don't think it's an issue. Okay, let's loosen these belts. Go. There we go. Okay, so if you're wondering how 2+ years of wear on belts look on smooth idlers, this is 2+ years of wear. No, actually, this is probably more than 2+. This is like 3 to 4 years of wear on smooth idlers. And These belts look fine. There's a little bit of a rib kind of worn into the back of them. And they are a little dirty, but not like through my hands, yeah. Like the teeth are still healthy. Like I'm looking for like a part that wouldn't ride on an idler and a part that does. They're other than being a little grimy. They all mesh together good. The teeth are all healthy, so. Belts look fine. The only downside is these are too short. I trim these right to length, and because the belt pathing is slightly longer in the current 2.4 R2 revision versus the beta revision, I need new belts. So, but yeah, so for anyone curious if running tooth belts on smooth idlers is an issue, it's not. It's perfectly fine to do. And still butter, still butter. I should have raised the gantry up higher. I am missing all my little Allen keys. Wrong way. There we go. Probably, yeah, some of the grime is probably some residue. There is a little bit of wear I could see back here, where it's kind of rubbing a little bit on the bearings, but nothing that I would like, after 3 years of use, wouldn't be concerned about. Like, this is more just like kind of cool just to see how much, you know, for the whole, it's over-constrained and over-engineered crowd, how much wear you actually see on one of these after they've run for several years. And it's like, yeah, everything looks fine. There we go. Trying to get all the screws out. Ripples from smooth idlers mean too much tension. Yep. Belts are too tight. That's usually the most common thing. People have a really bad tendency to over tighten their belts. You do not need to hulk your belts down. They need to be snug. Don't get me wrong. They need to be snug, but they don't have to be like tightened down with the force of 1,000 suns. Water and salt gets it very shiny. Yeah, it does. Yeah, you just gotta give it a few ugga-duggas and you're good to go. I'm surprised. And by the way, this is all eSun ABS Plus, by the way. If you're wondering what filament this is and how it held up after all these years, it's all eSun ABS Plus. Trying to get all the screws out of here. There we go. Okay. So if you're wondering how the carriage is, focus on the carriage. A little toasty, but not bad. Here's the probe. I think most of the scorch marks is when I had a big blob of death of carbon fiber nylon that like totally encased it. And I'm thinking that's what actually caused this torchiness. Because when I put on the Revo, it didn't have this. And I had a really big blob of death at one point, so. But hey, it still worked. So I'm gonna save this because this thing lived a good life. I'm adding that to the pile. Okay, so let's get all these belts out now. Frame it. I might. We'll see. There's a few things I want to do to the room to kind of like make it more studio-y. I really don't want to because I personally hate the meme, and I'm not gonna do the I'm not doing the blue and purple lights. Am I really pale right now? Is my lighting really pale right now? I think it's every time I wear a dark shirt, I get like blown out. It might just be my monitor that I have everything on. No, I'm not doing the RGB puke that everyone who's a tech tuber does, and it's so annoying, I find. Because every time I come across a new channel now, right? I'm not gonna say which channel because I don't like nothing against them. I hold no ill will to people that do it. It's a game, right? YouTube is a game. But I come across a new YouTube channel because they just built a Voron, and it's like, oh, this is cool. And I look, and I'm like, your content's fine, but it looks like every other tech channel. Like, that's the problem. I don't want to be another tech channel. Because I'm not going to say who it was, but they just built a Voron. They did a video on it. I skimmed through the video, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I'm like, this looks like every other YouTube channel that does tech. That's why I like my messy workshop here, because it's mine. There's still grease in these cable chains from when this had silicone wire running through it. We know I was doing. I'm pretty sure I have his channel blocked, so I don't even see him in my feed. There are other workshops, but this one is mine. Exactly. I like my setup. Although, I'm thinking of changing things up. The problem is I got no room. For those that don't know, there's the wall. There's like, this is where the camera ends. So the camera view ends here. There's a light, there's a wall, there's a door, and there's filament. And this is where you guys are. That's it. I would love to sit behind a desk, and I could tilt this out, but then I've got like no room here. And I'd have to move the camera out, and then I got to put I could shift this desk and stand behind the desk, but everyone stands behind the desk. So that's why I don't stand behind the desk. But it would make certain things that I do a little bit easier if I stood behind a desk. That's the thing. So. Oh, here, put all these in here. All the printed parts go in that bin. Like, I got control over the lights. I can turn the lights off. And then I can get, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just get a few stacks of spools of RGB spools. That's not even bright. I can make those brighter too. Brightness. Blow out the white balance. Go. And then there's, I think this is normally what I have them at. Is that. Then I could turn them off and then put RGB puke light back there. So the problem is it makes everything look dark. I like you seeing the printers. It actually looks better with the dark background. You like the dark background? I like being able to see though. Can I go any dark with that? No, it's this or off. Yeah. If Voron works so well, why tap? Because here's the problem with any probe that measures metal. You're measuring the metal. So, the Omron probe, the anything inductive, anything like the Prusa probe, even what's that fancy new probe the Annex folks just came out with? The problem is those all ping off the metal. They don't ping off your bed surface. They ping off the metal. So if you have textured PI on it, or you have a PI sticker, so you got the PI and then you got a layer of adhesive and then you got the metal. You're not measuring your bed, you're measuring what's under the surface. Tap measures your actual physical bed surface, which is actually what you really want to be measuring. So that's the problem. Also, you have heat. Some sensor probes are affected by heat and whatnot. So see, the problem is now it's darker over here. I'm working in the dark. Here, let me just turn one of the lights on. No, not both. That one. There we go. Is that better? No, that one's too dark. Maybe that one? Lighting isn't for you, it's for us. What? So what? You prefer? You guys would rather have this over that? Okay, I guess we'll turn off the lights for a bit. Here, I'll do a poll. So what lights do you want on? 1 second here. Bright, dark mode. Sarah poll. One second. Left on, right on, none on, both on. There we go. There you go. Let me know what you want. Because you guys are my boss, so I kind of have to listen to you at some point. Oh, man, yeah. Ah. The old style. So, again, old XY joints. You know how on the current, if you've built a Voron, on the current Vorons, on the XY, you got this fancy little channel to run your wires through. Yeah, no, on this one you don't. You have to like feed it through and then crimp it and then connect it. Again, beta. So I gotta like cut this open to get the wires out, I think. Ugh. Why do we do that? Why was it that Max? Why do we have that like that at that point? Where did I get this? Amazon. But yeah, so the original spec for the XY mount, but instead of having that nice little channel, no, you had to put the wires through and then crimp them. That's how it originally was. Why did we do that? Why? Why did we do that? Oh my God. Oh my God. Why did we do that? Why was it like that? Okay, screw it. I'm just gonna take this off right now, so I can just, you know, get my wires out without having to. I'm not uncrimping them. I'm not decrimping them. Or I'm not like depinning them. I'm just going to cut it apart. YOLO. Can I get that under there? No, I cannot. It is going to be really interesting to see how these bearings held up. That's something I'm interested in, is how these bearings held up to all this. Did I know the DFH rabbit hat? Oh, cool. Oh, I even have washers in here. Oh my God. Old spec, old spec. I'll get another container for these bearings because I don't want to. I want to keep all these bearings separate because I'm very interested to see how some of this stuff held up to all this use over all these years. For brightness, people want the lights on. Cool. Let there be light. Although I could make them purple and blue RGB. I could. I would be. I'd be a real YouTuber then. Just like Linus. Or Ninja. Although he's a Twitch streamer. I'm a streamer too. I'm like Ninja. Or actually, no. Ninja's not the streamer that ever... XQC. XQC is now the generic streamer, right? Please, dear God, no. Green and purple. Well, the channel colors are like... do I even have channel colors? What does my logo look like? What does my logo look like? Yeah, it's like blue and orange, I guess. Blue and orange. I could just be like a movie poster. Bearings. Like, other than like a little bit of like grunge, none of them have exploded. Like all these printed parts, these were all printed on a V2.2. So if you're wondering how like Voron quality has changed, this is all ABS Plus on a V2.2. Please not like Linus. I like Linus. What do you got against Linus? And then if you say, oh, he puts ads in his videos, remember, they have 100+ employees. How do you expect to pay them all? Because YouTube itself don't pay the bills. I was actually having a Twitter conversation with one of their guys. Who was it? Not Nick. But they just bought like an SLS machine for in-house development of prototypes of stuff with the revenue, with some of the revenue they got from the screwdrivers. So I'm like, they are putting their money back into it. So I can't really, you know, fault them for that. And it's good to see. So. He's too wild and out there. Screen personality. I'm sure he's not like that when he's off screen. Like, everyone who does YouTube has a YouTube persona. Very few people that do YouTube. Like, look at Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast doesn't act like he does on video all the time. So most people have like an on and an off. Even I do. Go look at some of my first videos. They are bad. Okay, so I'm trying to cut this out so that I don't have to depin my connector. And try not to cut the cable in the process. Yeah. Oh, this bar gives you great view. There we go. Okay. Just a little bit of surgery. Just a little bit of surgery. I miss the original Nero. My original stuff. Oh my god. Every now and then I go back and watch one of my first streams, and I'm just like, really? Ugh. Ugh. Who is this guy? They're boring. That's what they are. The original streams are boring. Can't stand my old self. Well, my old self is me. I am me. The thing is with the old stuff is boring. The only difference is the beard. Well, the growing the beard thing is when I basically became full-time YouTuber. So there is a little bit of that. Okay, I'm gonna try and reuse this pod here. I want to try and reuse the pod that for the PCB for the Hall Effects. Do they still make the Hall Effect boards? Do any kits come with the Hall Effect boards anymore? Are people still running Hall Effect boards? So I do want to keep this. I want to I like the Hall Effect board, so I'm gonna try and reuse this. Okay, so that is. Shoot, we got a white marker. I wish I had my white marker. Died on me. Formbot kits come with them. Okay, so these still are being used. Okay. And now I got to cut this out. Or actually, I could just take this one off. I think. Yeah, I could just take this off. All this because I don't want to damage anything. Okay. Nope, not that one, not that one. This one. Going to virtual? No, I'm still going to use the Hall Effect. Like, if it ain't broke. I guess I could go virtual end stop, like sensorless essentially, but the configs, everything's set up for a Hall Effect. It takes 2 seconds. The wiring is already there. I already have it all there. It's all set up for it. I just gotta put it back on. Do reveal nozzles need thermal compound? I don't believe so. I don't have any in any of mine. Good self-built printer? Whatever one you think you can build within your skill level. I like Vorons. V Minion's another fun build. A little more complicated than it should be, in my opinion, but it's a solid build. And there's a few other designs worth taking a look out there. Okay, so I got one here. And that is not that. That is not that. Not that. That. Oh man, we didn't even put one through this. Like, see what I mean? Why did we do this? Max? Max, what were you thinking? Why was this the design? Why? Why you do this? Where'd that? Oh, it's underneath. Okay. This was not something, you know how I joke, you know, this is Future Taylor's problem. Well, today I'm Future Taylor, and I'm not liking what Past Taylor did. I disagree with Past Taylor. He made a dumb choice to do this. Wear safety glasses, kids. Ah, frick, I gotta depin this. Always wear safety glasses. These aren't safety glasses, but always wear safety glasses. So it's red. I wish I had a white marker. I had a white marker, but it broke. Put a little piece of tape on it then, I guess. Okay, red, black, blue. Red. My hands are getting all greasy because everything used to be silicone wire and was all looped up at one point. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, so what was it? It was red. Red, black, blue. Okay. Luckily, I put some blue tape on this black one, so I knew it was the first black one. And by blue, I meant black heat shrink. Oh, get in your hole. Get in your hole. There you go. There we go. And that's all back together, I think. Yep, okay. There we go. I'm gonna leave these in here. I think these don't move. But now I gotta be super careful because we got to take all this apart. Called him. Who did I call? Oh, Steve's here. Hi, Steve. Oh, Max is here. Hi, Max. There's a reason 2.4. He says, this is 2.4. Why were the belts run? Why were the XY end stop wires run through the XY motor mount or joint mount, whatever, through a hole, not a slot? Why was that a thing for a bit? I know we changed it on production, but... Very early. Oh, I know it is. That's why I kept saying through this whole stream, I'm like, none of this is all like 3 months before release 2.4. And so far, everything's fine. Like, none of the parts are worn out. None of the belts are destroyed. Like, it's all actually really healthy. The only reason I'm taking this apart even is just so I can put tap in it, because we have to upgrade the whole gantry at that point. Because, fun fact, these are still, remember the motor mounts? The XY, or the AB motor mounts that they slipped because the belt didn't get enough engagement on the drive gear? These are them. That's the wrong button. These are them. And they still work just fine. This machine is the pinnacle. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because it needed fixing, but it wasn't broken, so I just left it. Okay, this is motor B motor. Okay, and this is A motor. Sweet. Don't knock off. Ooh, that would have been annoying. Okay, now I need a new pair of snips because I blew up these ones. The same situation when I changed it because that was dumb. Yeah. So we might get to it. Depends how far we get today, because I'm only streaming till 5. So I got to get dinner going for the family, and I started a little bit late. But I do have the XY motor mounts, or the AB motor mounts printed for this. But if Amazon delivers in time, I may get a little adventurous, because I've got a 3mm sheet of carbon fiber on the way. And then I have... these, I've got a bunch of baggies of these. These are ABS standoffs at 10 and 20 millimeters. So I may try doing print or machined AB motor mounts on this thing if it comes in time. If not, it doesn't. But if it does, it does. Why do I use cheapest hardware? Because it works. Why would I use expensive hardware? It's a 3D printer. When I worked in a tool shop, I built $1 million plastic injection molds with Walmart Allen keys and Canadian Tire or Craftsman wrenches because they're tools, and I beat the shit out of them. I have wrenches that I took an oxy torch to bend them so I can get into tight spaces because you couldn't get into them with it straight, so I had to bend the head of the wrench. That's just something you did in the trade. So I have expensive tools. They're my measuring tools and my setup tools, but a wrench is a wrench, in my opinion, especially when you're working on this shit. Like, it's a 3D printer. Half the stuff you're screwing into is plastic. You don't need a Wera. I've got my LTT store screwdriver. Good enough. Now, if you want to get fancy tools, go for it. That's all the power to you. But that's a personal thing. It's use the tools you like and build things the way you like. Here, yeah, toolmaker for 25 years. Yep. Like, my Mitutoyos and my Starretts, that's expensive. And that stuff was worth spending money on, in my opinion. But like, the The most expensive tool that I use the most at the tool shop, honestly, my Lixie. My 2-inch Lixie hammer. You want a good dead blow hammer, get a Lixie. Steve uses Nitpex. Ooh, fancy. Steve's got the Gucci stuff. Okay, that's that, that's that. I think now I can take the belts off. Or let's move this up and detach. I'm hoping I could reuse these XY joints. Now, why do I want to reuse them? Because they're already installed and they seem to work okay, so why would I print new ones? So I'm hoping I could reuse these, but we'll see. I don't think nothing changed with the XY joints. What time are we at anyways? We're almost at 4, jeez. All this time just to take apart a printer. But it's different when you're trying to take it apart and not, you know, break anything and keep it still somewhat functional. Are titanium backers really worth it or just bling? I have titanium backers on my Trident, my 350 Trident. And that's the only, and salad fork. Those are the only 2 machines I have them on. Is it worth it? Personally, I'm of the opinion, build it first and then see if you need them. And the bigger the machine, the more the bigger the chance you may need them. But it's not a guarantee, I think. Your money may vary. I will say these Z motor or Z connector mounts are nice and smooth now. Okay, so now I got to get this out. How do I get this out? So this is just held in with belts now. So I got to take the belts off. Okay. Nope. It's been a while since I built a printer. I lost all my Allen keys. They're all over the place. I'm using one of them in a salad fork. That's the only one that has CAN bus. I'm gonna use the leftover MGNs as backers. No, I'm gonna use them for something else probably. Like they're perfectly functional MGNs. Why would I waste them as backers? If the video's out of sync, try refreshing. Shouldn't be out of sync. I haven't changed any settings in a long time on OBS, so should be in sync. Everybody now. Yeah. Wait, that's Backstreet Boys. I probably should have zip tied these up just to make it a little easier for this part. But alas, I did not. I'm probably getting grease all over my bargain bin LTT shirt. There we go. I really don't want to rerun belts, so let's, oh shoot, you know what, screw it. Just take it, just take it. I gotta replace these anyways, I think. Yeah. I might be able to actually put the legit production idlers in this thing. Probably won't, but... And I'm still on 6mm belts for the EZ on this thing. Okay, nothing should fall out. Okay. So... you can go down, live down here with the V1 for now. Happy fun time adventures. Hey look, I could take it apart now and you guys can actually see what I'm doing because I don't have the frame in the way. Every tool is a hammer. Yep, that it is. Okay, which ones are these set up for? None of those. There we go. Okay, I need to save this because I'm reusing these. So you go in there. This belt hasn't been taken out of here in a long, long time. Where's my hex parts tray? What's a hex parts tray? I got bins. I got an acro bin over there that I got to put all this into. One day I shall regale you with the stream of screw sorting, but not today. The problem is I wish I had my acro bin here, but I don't have room for it like in front of me. So I have to have it like over there. So I just put stuff in bins and then I put in the acro bin. Proper receding hairline you. I'll receding hairline you. Is the hat getting in the way? Yeah. Dab of super glue in this one. Don't want to lose it. Gridfinity. I got an acro bin and I don't keep stuff in drawers, so I don't really get the whole Gridfinity thing. It seems cool. And I've actually printed some of the Gridfinity stuff. Like collet holders, but just standalone, not like Gridfinity things. I do need to get under shelf storage. So maybe then I'll do Gridfinity, but for now it's kind of like cool, but not something I absolutely need. So, you know, I technically don't have to replace these. I am going to be swapping these to the updated idlers, just for the better position of that screw, so it's less on an angle. So I'm going to keep these to the side so I can just take the screws right out and put them in when I'm done. Okay, motor mounts. So these can just slide off. Yep. And how are these? Still good. I keep forgetting I'm not on overhead. There, overhead. So these are still good. What's going to be really interesting is in a couple minutes, I think I have an MGN 12 rail spare, but I don't know for sure. And I probably should have checked that, but every time I went to go check, I forgot about it and did something else instead when I came down here. So we're going to be having some fun in a little bit. Happy quality P1P or the X1C is better. Same quality. The only difference is the P1P doesn't have the annoying fan of blowing, so it can't print as fast. Otherwise, quality's it's the same machine. It's the same machine. This just came with an enclosure and a better touchscreen. Nothing wrong with receding hairline camera angles. We're used to watching Steve. Steve's older than me though. I don't want to be. I'm not old yet. I'm only 34. Remember when the CB1 didn't work? Yep. What are we at right now? Somehow, yeah, I don't know how we have 500 people here. Normally these streams aren't the busy stream, but hello. Although I guess you're all, a lot of people are probably still on vacation. Yeah, the P1 is the X1 Lite. Yep, exactly. That's what I call it now. Like, I don't bother calling it the P1P usually. Like, I do because people know it as the P1P, but it's the X1 Lite, let's be honest. While I do this, if you haven't had the chance yet, remember, every stream we give away a spool of Polymaker filament. So link in the description for your chance to enter and win that. Also, if you want to help support the channel, content I create, things I do, links in the description as well. Consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon supporter. It goes a long way in supporting the channel and allow me to do what I do, because it's my job. Is the LiDAR making any difference? Nope, I turn it off. For the stuff I print, I didn't find the LiDAR was doing anything. So I disabled it, and I don't use it at the start of print because you have an option when you go to print. I don't bother. Because one, it makes a mess of your bed because it prints that giant thing. And two, I couldn't tell any difference. I couldn't tell you any difference between two prints with and without it. All it does is does a calibration of flow. But it has a built-in flow like settings for the different filaments already. So unless you're printing with like one brand of PLA that needs drastically different flow settings than another brand, you're probably not going to notice any difference. So for me, it was just like, I ain't going to bother with it. I just didn't bother with it. Okay, so let's do a little science. I'm going to show you here. So this right here is an original A motor mount from the pre-release Voron 2.4. Okay, if I can get this all apart and not lose everything. Yeah, dang it. So you had a bearing there and you had a bearing here, and this was like that. Okay. On the production version, so one, we actually have somewhere to put the drag chain. You can see it's slightly different. So this bearing's in more and it comes and loops around. So this bearing sits here and then this one's here. So on this one, it's out here. So the belt pathing kind of does that. On this one, it's further in more and you get more belt on your drive gear. So that's one of the things that changed between the revisions. Also, wasn't there like a printed part in here to like space it at some point? I can't remember. Do we have a printed spacer in there? Or something? Because that's 3 mil. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. All the spacers too. Actually, I want to keep that out because I'm gonna be lazy, and we're gonna start with the AB motor mounts when we rebuild this. V2.026 original serial? Yep. I think, what did we get up to? We almost got up to like V48 before, or V2.48 before we started seeing 2.1s. Yeah, see? There was a printed spacer in there. I knew we had a printed spacer in there. And it always broke off. Because you had a tower here, yeah. It didn't break off on this one. Remember that? So for reference, on the current one, obviously we don't have this little tower. We just have an M5 instead of an M3 with a little spacer. But yeah, these hold up pretty good. I'm gonna swap out as many bearings as I can. I think I have a bunch of these in stock still, so. Okay. So, that is the OG unit. So let's get some zip ties on here before I lose these. Or actually, no, I gotta take these off first. So let's take this apart. Because we gotta swap out to a different. The new Z cable. No, I did not, because where my chain is mounted, because I have the whole because my whole thing's original. It mounts like more in the middle, so I'm probably going to just not use the mount on here. We'll see. I did print it, I believe, but I don't think I'm going to use it. Am I going to lube my rails? These are lubed. I always lube my rails before I install them. I am starving right now. I am absolutely hungry. How much time do I got left on stream? It's only 4:11. Shoot. Okay, this is the bottom. Yeah, so I don't need, or actually, no, that was this. Okay, so these ones stay. These ones stay. These ones come off. Because the rail's on the front, right? Yeah, it's on the front. Using thread locker? I don't think I have thread locker on any of my builds. No, you just torque your screws to the right spec, and you shouldn't need thread locker unless you're in a super high vibration environment. Nail polish on the rails? No, I only use like on grub screws. Is like the only time I use like a locking compound usually. So this is the bottom, so I don't need any of these. Okay, let me find some zip ties. One. I'm gonna have to buy zip ties again. Again? Really? I just bought like 100 of them like a month ago. How am I out of zip ties again? I'm out of zip ties again. Like seriously, how am I out of zip ties again? Really? Like I know I'm not the most conservative with them, but didn't think I'd go through them that quick. Calvin play with them? No, I keep him on my desk, so he usually doesn't get into them. The problem is I buy like the bag of them, and then the bag eventually rips open, and they go everywhere, and then I do like a desk clean. I throw out a bunch of random stuff. Okay, so I'm not going to clean these off because they're covered in lube. So why would I get the rust preventative off? So, okay. Where is, that's MGN 12, that's too short. That's MGN 7. Aha! I do have it. Aha! Hopefully that's long enough. That should work, right? Yeah, that's the right length. Yeah, there we go. This is the one I blued. Remember I did that tutorial video ages ago on how to blue your rails? And you're wondering how it's holding up? Here you go. It's been sitting in my closet for, I don't know, since I did that video. And it's still lubed up. So we're good to go. Awesome possum. Let me clean this rail off a little bit. It's got a little, it's a little mingy. Is that high wind? No, none of my rails are high wind. Why would I waste my money on high wind rails? Okay. So we need every other. 1, 2, 3. Wait, what is it here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I see. Okay, 1, 2. I have an extra. 3, 4. That's why. That works. Doesn't tap need every screw? Does tap need every screw on the X? Well, I could put more in. Oh yeah, tap does. Tap is more sensitive, right? I should probably read the tap manual at some point. I'm not putting in one for everything on the Ys though. Those are already, these ones are done. I ain't changing these. There we go. The nuts aren't the same way. That's it's for harmonic reasons. That's why they're that way. My kit is the 524 volt. It's an LDO kit. Performance is going to be compromised. Yeah, don't be dissing my feng shui. Okay, I did print the thingies this time. Haha, 1, 2. So what is it? Is it like, isn't it like 15 on each side? 15 mil? .5. 15.5. Good enough. Travel on the y-axis from the MGN12? Probably. But you gain travel because you no longer have the nozzle switch you got to ping off of. So you have more room. You gain a little bit, but you gain, it compensates, so you're good. See you, Steve. Back to work. go. Okay, so that is done. Am I using kinematic mounts? I am not. I am not. Nope, I am not. Oh wait, salad fork might? I can't remember. I don't know. What purple? This is Sparta 3D Purple Mist ABS Plus with sparkle. Salad fork has the sparkles and or the backers, and my Trident does too. Okay, let's start with the front idlers because they're the easiest. So let's get the idlers out. We got one here. Oh. Okay, out with the old, in with the new. So I don't think we use a hex nut or a locking hex nut anymore on this. I can't remember. Is that an LTT screwdriver? It is. Oh, I gotta put some heat sets in here too. I gotta put a bunch of heat sets in. Let's do some heat sets before we get too far into this. So I need to put heat sets, I think, in here, in here. Yeah, in the backs there. And then I need heat sets there and there, I think. Yeah, so I need a heat set here and here. Yeah. Okay, let's do some heat sets. Oh, where did my iron go for this? $35 this year. Does tap add weight? Yep, it does. Gantry can handle it. No, it's heavier because you're adding an MGN 9 in there or something, right? MGN 9? Yeah, it's heavier. Tap is heavier. Weight equals slow. Race cars are fast. Race cars are heavy. Rerun your input shaper tune and you'll be good to go. Maybe increase your motor amp a bit. Should probably pull the manual up too, just to make sure I'm actually doing this right. Yeah, it's every 2 is usually good enough on the rails. The rails are hardened steel. Like they're plenty stiff, as she would say. Yeah, the days of being light on your tool head, it all harkens back to the days of like 8-bit ramps and printers that weren't built good. Printers are built a lot sturdier and a lot more mechanically sound than they used to be. And then also printers nowadays, we got firmwares that have fun stuff like input shaper and advanced tuning methods that allow you to compensate for what used to be downsides of higher speed. Ringing, you go faster, you crank your accels, you get ring. To fight ringing, you tune your input shaper. Input shaping, if you tune your input shaper too aggressively, you get rounded corners. So now we need the next thing that allows you to run higher input shapers without rounding your corners. Nothing is perfect. There will always be a downside to everything. Nothing is free. It's about what you're willing to take and give to get the desired result. Yes, you add a little bit of weight to your tool head, but you get a more accurate first layer reading, which leads to more successful prints. Is that an advantage? Because, a lighter tool head, you might be able to shave off 10 minutes on a 12-hour print. But with the tap and a more accurate first layer, that one print that may have failed 6 hours in because your first layer wasn't quite good enough, now succeeded. That's a lot of prints of saving 10 minutes to make up 6 hours. I've always been a big fan of a machine that's more reliable than a machine that's faster. Because it's a lot easier to just print a slightly bit slower and just have your prints always be guaranteed to finish or a much higher chance of finishing than cranking it to the absolute, pushing it to the limit and then having stuff fail. Because it doesn't matter how fast you go if the print doesn't finish right. So. Hey, Neuro 3D, be aware. I appreciate everyone warning me about the PCB issue. For those that don't know, I am on the Voron team. I'm an admin on the Voron Discord, and I've been building Vorons for 5 years. I'm on the Voron team. I'm aware of the current ongoings of things. What is tap? Tap allows you to use your nozzle as a bed probe. It basically adds a mechanism to the tool head so that the whole tool head can shift up when your nozzle hits the bed. And using an optical sensor, it allows you to give extremely super accurate first layer readings. So, I am a Sparky person. If everything's going well, I'm not a Sparky person. But if I'm a Sparky person, at least we're getting content out of it. So. Does available print area go down? I'm not 100% sure. I know you lose ever so slight amount. This machine is so not spec that I don't even know what my build volume is. It's been a while. I think the last time I actually set the bounds for my build volume was like 2.2. Go. What time are we at anyways? 4:30? No, don't burn my desk down. Stay. Yeah, it replaces the inductor probe and it also replaces the switch that you would normally ping off of for your Z offset. Okay, so where is stealth burner? 2.4, 2.4, manual, assembly manual. There we go. Huzzah. There we go. There we go. There we go. Is that good? Is that good? Is that good? There we go. There we go. Okay, what's for dinner tonight? Leftovers, because I made a ton of burgers yesterday. Okay, and where are my F695 bearings? Yeah, there we go. So I've got plenty of bearings. Ooh, I even have some RS bearings. Ooh. I'll use some RS bearings on the front here. Stick with what works. Like the reason I'm putting it in this one is because this machine had this as the probe. So it's kind of like, you know, if any machine's gonna get it, and a bunch of people want my opinion on it. One, I need to actually build it so I can give my opinion on it. And two, people want to see me build it, so I'm building it. So here we go. Has anyone added to the carbon fiber? I really don't like those super lightweight gantries. I can't remember who did the FEA on them, but the FEA for them is noodly. Like, noodly AF. And this is coming from the guy who punted a guy from the Voron Discord for his noodliness. So, yeah, they're noodly. I am not a gram chaser. I am not a gram chaser when it comes to my 3D printers. So for the people that like, when you're trying to convince me like, oh, I need to shave off like, you know, 20 grams here on my whole gantry by going to a super extreme lightweight gantry, it does nothing to me. Cause I'm like, why? Like, okay, I do FPV now, right? I build these little quadcopters, okay? These I understand shaving weight. A 3D printer, I don't. Because I don't think it makes that big of a difference. I just don't think it does. Robert, thank you for becoming a member. And Gary, thank you for gifting a membership. I'm trying to find the manual. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Truss structures have never been known for stiffness. Yeah. Okay, here we go. The manual. So we put the heat sets in. Okay. So now we got to put this together. I'm going to get my 5mm pin. That makes this a lot easier. Huzzah. Okay. Just use bigger motors. Yeah. If you're that worried about weight, go to bigger motors. More power. Okay. So we got that. We use the washer. So how many of these do I have? So I've got front, XY, X. Oh man, I only got like that many. Okay, well, save them for something. I'll use these on the front idlers because usually the more finicky ones, if I remember correctly. And they're more of a pain to get to fix. Okay. Oh man, I used the wrong one. I needed the shorter one. Shorter one is what I need. So this is one of those things, if you happen to have it, it's nice. But because I've used various different length pins over the years on Voron builds, I have a bunch of these different size pins. So what you do is you build your bearing stack with a generic random pin that you have. And then you just get the right size screw and you just push it out. And then you don't have to worry about lining it up, and then you just put your nut on. Ta-da. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now I need how long is this screw? That has a nut in it? That does have a nut in it. Is that how we did it back then? Yeah, I guess so. Why are you paying out? Yes, I know sports cars, you want to make them light, but I'm just saying, heavy things can go fast. I'm making it, I'm just using it as an example. Not being literal. There we go. So there's our left, right, Right. With enough thrust, anything could be an airplane. Exactly. What is the thing? An F1 car can drive upside down? I don't know. Just gotta remember, at the end of the day, we're essentially building really shitty CNC machines out of cheap parts from China that just splooge out molten plastic in a thing, in a motion that kind of resembles the thing we wanted to do. Start taking it too seriously, you're not having fun anymore. Ooh, I missed a big one. Who was that? Who was that? Dark Aspie gifted 10 community memberships. Cheers! Yep, these are glorified hot glue guns that are controlled by a basic CNC motion system built with parts from China. Or if you're one of those people, you pay the premium to buy American and you bought them off Amazon. In that case, you still bought China parts. You just paid an extra guy a profit to bring them in and put them on Amazon. But my sub-micron accuracy. I love when you look at a cheap printer and they advertise the accuracy. It's like, oh, it could do 0.0025 layer heights. Yes. That's called a micro step. All 3D printers can do that. Nobody prints at 0.0025 layer height anyways. Everyone prints at 0.2. Or, you know what I mean. Majority of people print at 0.2. So it doesn't matter what your printer is theoretically. I can have a 3D printer that has a set 0.02 layer height. Like, Z only moves at 0.2 increments. And other than the first layer, it'll look the same as every other print done at 0.2 layer height. Called marketing. There we go. Okay. So those are that. Am I going to replace these belts? Am I going to replace these Z belts? Let me check something here. Because these Z belts are literally ever so slightly too long or too short. Because I was a genius and I cut them flush years ago. And I kind of regret that. So I may lengthen, if I got longer ones here, I may go with longer. Yeah, we're going new. We're going new. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I was a smart person and I went on Amazon before this build and I went, hey, I need to replace my belts. I'm going to buy a new belt. And all they had were like Big Tree Tech belt. I don't know. It's GT26, whatever. It's generic GT2 or 2GT, 2GT. Anyways. So I bought it. Yeah, same belt. And I bought 5 meters worth. The problem was, it was 5 meters, but it was sold in like 1 meter increments. So it was completely useless. So I'm like, shit. So I'm putting this in my storage area where I keep my belt. And then I found a whole spool of belt that I didn't need to order because I had belt. Such angst today? Not angsty. That's how I normally am. I'm in a great mood today. Okay, so we have, trying to remember, I guess it doesn't matter for this. This carriage is loosey-goosey. How's this carriage? Okay, this carriage is fine. Can use a little lube. This one's loosey-goosey though. Let me swap them out. Okay, let's swap out to this one. What does everyone use their excess belts for? I don't know. Depends how creative you are. Like, I just kind of hang on to them until I eventually need them for something. Or if it's too short, I just get rid of them. There we go. That's much better. Yeah. Okay, that's a lot more controlled. How's this one feel? Even this one's a little... These are like first generation China rails too. Let's swap out the other one, I guess, because these were on the Z, and the Z had good rails. So these are like first generation China rails, back when they were all kinds of YOLO and you never know. Slide on that way because they didn't cut the rail straight. There we go. Oh yeah, that's much better. That's much better. Is this the knockoff Highwind one? It is. This is the knockoff Highwind one. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something. So, for all those that think they bought Highwinds on AliExpress, you poor sweet summer child. Okay. So this right here, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of like faded over the years. You can kind of see it. It's engraved Highwind, or etched Highwind. I bought it from CNA Rails. You want the chair?
Yeah.
Okay. You can sit right there. So it's not Highwind. They're not Highwind. And if you're lucky, what it turns out is best case scenario from my understanding. I think there is a chance you can get cheap Highwind carriages and they just put them on generic rails and they sell you as the whole thing as being Highwind. Hey, no, oh, that's hot. So Daddy's building stuff, so we can't take anything apart. Okay? Are you hungry? No. No? Okay. You want to fix? You want to take something apart and fix it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Here. Can you take all the screws out of this?
In here?
Yeah, take all the screws out. Oh no! There you go. Zombie Hedgehog 149. Cheers. Do it upside down. Oh, none of the balls came out, so I think we're good. Are these still tight? Yeah, it's still tight. So we're good there. So not only do we got upgraded rails, we got that. So the problem is, though, I do need to lube them. Are you working?
Yeah.
No, you're not. Calvin's not working. You're working? Okay. I'm trying to find my syringe for this. You need help? I don't know where my syringe went, so I can grease these. There you go. You just take the screw out. You just push it out now. Pull. You gotta use this. You put it in on an angle. And you pull it out. There you go. Be easier if you weren't wearing gloves. Okay, we might be Is child labor okay? As long as nobody donates while he's here, we're technically not using him for content, right? But Calvin, get out of here. I need. No, you could stay. Oh. So I don't have my syringe that I normally use to grease these up. So what you can do, if you need to lube up rails that are installed, is you can kind of like move them. Push it up. There you go. STEM enrichment. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All apart. Okay, Daddy's got to find this. When she used to do all this stuff. I don't know where it's at. That's my fault. Yeah, this'll work. This ain't the one I use, but it's one I got. Okay. So what you can do if you need to grease up a rail and it's already installed and you don't want to take it apart, this might work. You get yourself a syringe, put it in your lube. And you try to suck the lube up. And it's kind of annoying, but it does eventually get sucked up. And it makes an absolute mess. And it's easier if you have a needle on the end, which I don't. Okay. And what you can do is you basically want to... Yeah, you put this right there. Right there. One second. Okay, so what you do is you kind of line it up with the little hole, and you kind of put, like, it's kind of annoying. But you basically try and get, like, as much of the plunger or the spout into one of these holes, and then you drive the carriage over it, and then you inject it, and then it kind of gets underneath. Because the problem is you can't just put the grease on the rail and run the carriage over it, because there's wipers on here that just push the grease out of the way. So what you kind of have to do is you have to get up under it, and it makes a bit of a mess, but it kind of works. That's one way to do it. Because if you just put it on the rails, it's just gonna, you know, get wiped off by the wipers. And I prefer the thicker lubes anyways for these bigger rails.
I don't want to do it.
Okay, can you do me a favor? Okay. Push the plunger a little bit. Oh no, you're making an mess. Look, you got it everywhere. That's okay. So, what time are we at? I think we're gonna call it here for work on this. Oh, you gotta be careful. Don't take it off the end. So I think we're gonna pause it here. Okay, can you go upstairs to mommy? No. No. Okay. No. It's a little bit of a mess. So, and everything's dirty. So, can you bring your gloves upstairs to mommy, and then Daddy will cook dinner?
No, I want to work on the film.
You want to work? Okay. Can you go get one of your books? Okay, take your gloves upstairs and just say, Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, I have to stay upstairs. Okay, there you go. Because Daddy's all messy and I can't touch you because I'm going to get stuff everywhere. So I don't want to touch your stuff. All MGN. No, they don't. No, they do not. Especially the Chinese ones. Legit, good quality ones do. But most of the time we're not playing with that. Calvin needs a puppy. We have a dog. Oh, no, leave that alone. Okay, you got to go upstairs. Here, bring this to Mama. Here, grab your gloves. Okay, go upstairs. No, you got to go upstairs. Trying to find. I know I have. Maybe are these the syringes? These might be the wrong size ones. So what you can do is you can buy these syringes and then you can buy needles. So yeah, don't assume your rails have whatchamacallit's built in, like lube spouts built in. They don't. There's no guarantee they do. Oh, this is like a. Yeah, I bought these. These are the wrong size. So grease doesn't really come out of these too good. So what you can do is you can try and get underneath. But these look like they have a spout, but they don't. Like the grease doesn't go anywhere when you push them in. It just comes out. So different things to pay attention to. Different things you can try and grease them up. Basically, you just want to try and get grease underneath the wiper so that it actually does something instead of just, you know, getting pushed all over the place. And also, don't use oils. Oils don't last that long. In the pet section in Princess Auto. That's where I got these from. It's just, I have like the bigger gauge needle and I don't know where it went. And be careful with these. Don't let kids near them. Because they are needles. And you got them filled with grease. So you don't want air getting in you. And you don't want grease getting in you. I gotta wash my hands. I got grease everywhere now. Clean this table off a bit. And now the part where we find out where all the cuts on my hands are. Ow! Now, I normally don't wipe down the rails after I grease them. I'll wipe them down with a rag, but I won't like clean them because the grease kind of acts like a little bit of a rust prevention. So just kind of keeps them a little cleaner. Okay, let me go wash my hands. I'll be back. And since the washroom's right here, I'm just going to keep talking because content. Am I out of soap? I'm out of soap. Get more soap. So, there we go. And don't forget, we're going to be doing that draw in a minute here. So if you haven't had your chance to enter to win some Polymaker filament, link in the description. Get on that. Go, enter. Do this now. There we go. Okay. So we'll carry on with this next stream, obviously. Bathroom content. That's why you guys are here. You're here for the content. Plus, I think some of you are here for the snark and the scuffness of it all. Cool little print to give away, like print in place or something. There's tons of prints. Go on printables, go on Thanks, see what's popular. Can't you remove the wiper? You can! You can, but it's a really itty bitty screw and is it worth the risk? So, I'm here for the snark. Okay, so we got 5 minutes before we do the draw, so what else is there? Ooh, I finally got this flying. Remember we built this guy? We built up this quad, put the new flight stack in it. I did have to play around with it to get the GPS to working, so I have a different mount for the antenna. I have a better GPS on the way. I'll probably swap in that's slightly lighter. It's just a hair above 250 and we're trying to get under 250. But I went for a flight and I sent it. Well, not full. Long range begins at 4 kilometers and we got close, but not close. Because for a first flight, I didn't want to push 4 kilometers out. But let me find the video here. Yeah, here we go. This ain't it. Is this the video? Yeah, this is the video. So this was flying it out. I went just under 3 kilometers, so like 2.76 kilometers out with this guy. And this is the DVR footage. So this is what I was seeing. So I've got a DJI system on it. It's got a Naked Vista. It's got a Caddx Nebula Nano. not the Nebula Pro, which is, this is the worst camera apparently you can get for the DJI system. So I need to get a new camera on here. But right here, this tree line is 2.76 kilometers. So I figured it out. If I fly to this far one out here, this is 4 kilometers. So yeah. So I need to go out to there next time. But the battery is what I'm worried about. I think I have enough gas in the tank with this battery to do 4 kilometers there and back. But it will be close. Original DJI camera. The problem is the original DJI camera is heavy. I can't go to a heavy camera on this. I don't have the weight. I've got like nothing in the tank for how much weight I can add to this. For the record, I've avoided the turbines. I gave it a wide berth. I wasn't anywhere near any of those higher than 250 feet. That's okay. I'm allowed to go up to 400 feet. And I do have it. This doesn't record the overlay, but I didn't go above 100 meters, and I can go to 122 meters in Canada. So, what drone is this? It's an LR4 with a bunch of mods. So it's this guy. And I was flying with an 850 milliamp hour tattoo. But these kids freaking rode up on me while I'm flying, and they're like asking me questions while I'm flying. I'm like, guys, okay, I'm being nice, but I'm flying here. Go away. So yeah, so I flew out 2.76 kilometers with this, and yeah, not bad. So I need to get bigger batteries, but I need to get high voltage batteries because they're lighter. So those are just huge fans of flight time, battery time. So that flight was 5.5 minutes. I've flown 7 minutes for this. Just kind of cruising around a field, 7 minutes. I think I can do 8 to 10 minutes on the batteries, and the batteries are the 850 milliamp hour tattoos, but they're older. What I'm really worried about is just the battery sagging out on the way back. So I'm not worried about the control link. It's not a diversity receiver, but it is a ELRS RP1 Radio Master receiver, and I'm running 1200 milliwatt on the VTX for the Caddx, or for the DJI system, and I've got a 1 watt ELRS receiver or transmitter. So I should be fine out there. So yeah. Got a camera on it, you can see where it landed. Unless the video drops out. Is that a Flywoo Explorer? It is. 4S. Okay, so here's the problem with lithium ions. I can put a lithium ion on, a 3000 milliamp hour lithium ion, and get half an hour of flight time out of it. No problem. I'm trying to stay under 250 with it. Because if I get over 250, I got to pay $5 to the government, which I don't want to because I'm lazy and cheap. So that's the problem with the lithium ion. So right now, an 850 milliamp hour tattoo battery, I am at 250. A 1100 milliamp hour GMB high voltage battery is 1100 milliamp hours, more milliamps, and weighs less by about 10 grams. So I save 10 grams and I get an extra, what, 250 milliamp hour flight time. So yeah, it's one time. I don't need, I know what I do is on my controller, I just have it set to variable. So it just, I have it set to 1 watt max, but it'll automatically ramp up and drop down depending on the connection. So no, it's online. I'm just lazy. Okay, let's do this giveaway. You guys want to win some filament? Who wants to win filament? So every stream we give away a spool of filament, and why today is no different. And I'm out of frame. Let me turn my camera. Hello. There we go. So if you haven't entered, you'll get another chance Friday. So we got 730 people. I'm surprised how many people are here. Is everyone still on vacation? Is that why I have so many people in stream today? Is everyone on vacation still? And I can't see because I'm copying names. And This is why you don't use this method on big giveaways. This would have been annoying as heck on the big stream. No, don't tell me you copied the wrong thing. I gotta copy it all again. Bloody hell. How do I select all row? I gotta copy the whole bloody thing again. Dang it. There we go. And now we wait for this to unlag because I'm putting 730 names into it. Soldering iron. It's off. It's off, by the way. Brian, $5. Pay $5 tax. I know, but I want to keep it under 250 grams just as like a personal goal. Like, yeah, I could just go buy a lithium ion battery and just, but then it flies like shit because it weighs so much. Why are you guys putting numbers? I didn't ask for numbers. You know the rule. I say, give me a number between 5 and 10, and then you put the number. Jumping the gun just means you get disqualified. And now people put numbers. I don't even know. You know what? You know what? I'm not shuffling it today. There. No shuffling. Guys can't count, can't read. No shuffling. However, Sylvian won. Sylvian, is that how you pronounce it? Sylvian. Congratulations, Sylvian Ob. You have won a spool of filament from Polymaker. You'll get an email from me after the stream ends. Got to fill out a little form. You get some filament. Get in a couple days to a couple weeks, depending on where you live in the world. Let me just pull you up, make sure you're a real person, or at least resemble a real person and not a bot. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I still can't believe the one time somebody entered with a bot and they entered like several times in a row. It was so obvious. Okay, so we're gonna call it there. We'll continue with this build probably Friday. You know, Fridays usually print and chill. I like to not build on Fridays normally. I don't know. We'll see. We'll either build this on Friday, fix the bamboo on Friday, or carry this on Saturday. Congrats. I'm not sure what else. Perfect way to use it, Benjamin. But yeah, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get dinner. Go eat some food. Go, if you're still on vacation, go enjoy your vacation. I know little guy's out of school for another week, so. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Hope you had fun today. You know, I was hoping to get further in the build, but you know what? Half the stream is hanging out and having fun anyways. So it's the memories. It's the snarkiness we had along the way. So I'm gonna call it there. I'll see you Friday. Hopefully there should be a video this weekend. And join the Discord because I'm gonna set up for the community contest before the Friday stream. So I just gotta write all the rules and whatnot. So I will see you on Friday. Congratulations to the Polymaker winner. Shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament that we give away every stream. Be sure to check them out in the link in the description. Also, if you want to help support the channel, content I create, things I do, plenty of links in the description as well. Consider becoming a member or a Patreon supporter. For those that did become members or Patreon supporters or gifted memberships to others or donate to the stream, I thank you. I would not be able to do this without your continued support. Okay, that's it for the show. I need to go figure out dinner. I'll see you Friday. Cheers.